doobie, roots reggae. Listen, some stories are not held together by love alone, because love can be questioned, love can be tested, love can even grow tired. But there is something stronger than love, something that never collapses under pressure. Grace. It was more than love, it was grace. Oh Jah, carry me through this story. I was standing in my failure, with nothing left to defend. Every road I walked in pride came crashing in the end. I saw the truth I tried to bury, rising louder than my name. Every mask I wore in daylight turned to shame. But when I thought I was forgotten, left outside the gates of peace, something deeper than forgiveness brought my knees. Not because I was deserving, not because I was strong, but because a higher mercy carried me along. It was more than love, it was grace, holding me in every place where I should have been defeated. You still call me by my name. It was more than love, it was grace, turning ashes into praise. When I had no right to stand there, you still made a way. Oh Jah, more than love, it was grace. I remember all my wandering, every door I closed myself, every time I chose confusion over anything else. Still you never changed your reaching, still you never turned away. Even when I walked in darkness, far astray, I saw mercy in the morning, where I didn't turn the light. I saw kindness in the silence of the night. And I finally understand it, what my heart could not explain, that grace was never absent, even in my pain. It was more than love, it was grace, holding me in every place where I should have been defeated. You still call me by my name. It was more than love, it was grace, turning ashes into praise. When I had no right to stand there, you still made a way. Babylon deals in condition, what you earn and what you lose, but grace is unconditional, it breaks every rule. No ledger can record it, no system can contain the mercy that keeps flowing through the rain. No, it cannot be measured. No, more than love, more than love. Grace, grace, grace. More than love, more than love, more than love, more than love, grace. Now I walk in quiet freedom, not because I am strong, but because of greater mercy proved me wrong. Every scar I once was hiding now tells a different tale of a love that never left me when I failed. And if tomorrow brings me weakness, I will not be afraid, for grace has already spoken and made a way. It was more than love, it was grace, stronger than the human race, standing when I had no reason. Still you held me in that place. It was more than love, it was grace, written on my broken face. Every wound became a witness of your endless embrace. It was more than love, it was grace, and it will forever stay. The reason I am breathing, the reason I can say, oh Jah. More than love, it was grace. So if you are broken tonight, remember. If you feel unworthy tonight, remember. It is not only love that finds you, it is grace that never leaves you. More than love, it was grace, grace, still holding me. Listen, there is a place between midnight and dawn where silence becomes heavier than sound, where even tears forget how to fall. That is where I was, waiting before the morning freed the sun. Oh Jah, I was there. The night had no mercy on my window. It pressed its hands against my soul. Every shadow knew my sorrow. Every minute felt too cold. I counted all my broken reasons like stones I could not carry far, and whispered to the sleeping heavens, are you still where you are? No answer came from empty ceilings, no light broke through my heavy sky. Only time walked slow and silent as I learned how hearts can cry. But even in the deepest silence, something kept me holding on, a fragile thread of holy promise that whispered dawn will come along. Before the morning freed the sun, I learned to pray when I was done. When every strength inside me failed, your mercy still had not run out. Before the morning freed the sun, when all my dreams were almost gone, you held me in the dark unknown until the breaking of the dawn. Oh Jah, before the morning freed the sun. I saw my mother's tired shoulders bend beneath the weight of days. Still she sang like storms were nothing. Still she found a song of praise. The children slept in humble silence, dreaming food that wasn't there. Yet somehow love still filled the table like a feast beyond despair. The world outside kept moving faster while we stood still in broken time. But in that stillness I discovered a strength no hand could ever bind. When hope was just a fading echo, barely breathing in my chest, something deeper than my sorrow whispered softly, I rising of your power. For every tear that fell unnoticed, for every cry the word ignored, you were building resurrection behind a silent door. No chain can stop the sunrise, no prison holds the light, no storm can kill forever what is destined for the side. No, no, no. Before the morning, freed the sun. Before the morning, freed the sun. Oh, oh. Now I stand where light has found me, still remembering the night. For every scar became a witness to your patience and your might. And I know when storms return again and shadows call my name, the night can never steal the promise that your mercy stays the same. So I will wait with quiet courage when the darkness comes again. For I have seen the morning's power break the chains of never then. Before the morning freed the sun, I saw the victory had begun. In every breath I barely had, you turned my morning into song. Before the morning freed the sun, you were the strength when I was none. And even in my weakest hour, your love became the rising sun. Before the morning freed the sun, every battle you had won, every tear became a river, oh, that carried me toward the sun. Oh, Jah, before the morning freed the sun. When the night feels endless again, remember, the morning is already coming. And even before the sun appears, victory is already written. Before the morning freed the sun, you were there. Free the sun. Oh, Jah, oh, Jah, oh, Jah, I was there. I heard Zion in the night wind, Jana Dube, Roots Reggae. Listen, have you ever stood alone when the whole world was sleeping? When the stars looked like ancient lanterns hanging over the earth, and the wind carried a voice too beautiful to ignore. That was the night. I heard Zion in the night wind. Oh, Jah, I heard it calling. The moon was resting on the mountainside, silver shadows dancing with the tide. The city lights were fading far away, and silence wrapped the ending of the day. My heart was heavy with unanswered prayers. I carried burdens nobody could share. Then through the darkness where the wild wind sang, a distant song across the heavens rang. Not a sound from man, not a king's command, just a holy whisper across the land. I heard Zion in the night wind, calling softly to my soul, like a river through the desert, making broken spirits whole. I heard Zion in the night wind, through the dark I heard Zion in the night wind. The trees were swaying like a choir in praise, their branches reaching through the midnight haze. The stars looked brighter than I'd ever seen, like heaven opened up a space between the winds. Said, child, keep walking, don't lose your way. The dawn is closer than you think today. And every doubt I carried in my chest began surrendering itself to rest. The earth stood still, the sky grew wide, and hope came walking by my side. I heard Zion in the night wind, calling softly to my soul, like a river through the desert, making broken spirits whole. Oh, I heard Zion in the night wind, through the darkness and the pain, and every fear that once controlled me started washing off like rain. Oh, Jah, I heard Zion in the night wind. Babylon builds walls of confusion, Babylon trades truth for illusion, but the wind cannot be chained and the voice cannot be bought. The message of Zion cannot be stopped. When kingdoms crumble, when empires fall, the voice of Jah still speaks to all. No prison can hold it, no darkness can hide it. The wind keeps carrying the sound of Zion. I hear it, I hear it. Zion, Zion, calling through the night. Zion in the night. Zion, shining with the light. Zion. Now, whenever storms surround my days and trouble tries to block my way, I remember what the night wind said and those living words inside my head. The road is long, but I won't fear, for Jah's own voice is always near, and every step brings me closer still to the promise resting beyond the hill. Though shadows come and seasons change, your faithful love remains the same. I heard Zion in the night wind, calling softly to my soul, like a river through the desert, making broken spirits whole. I heard Zion in the night wind, through the darkness and the pain, and every fear that once controlled me started washing off like rain. I heard Zion in the night wind, like a trumpet from above, like a promise never broken, the language of your love. I heard Zion in the night wind, and my heart will never be the same, for the voice that found me in the darkness still keeps calling out my name. When the night grows quiet, listen. When the world grows silent, listen. The wind still carries ancient songs, the voice still travels across the mountains, across the valleys, across the sea. And if your heart is searching, you may hear it too. I heard Zion in the night wind. Zion, Zion, Zion. I heard Zion in the night wind. Love wrote my name in Zion. Jana Doobie, Roots Reggae. Listen, before I learned my own name, before the world ever called me anything, Before I knew my place in this struggle, something greater had already spoken over me. Not ink, not stone, not man, but love. Love wrote my name in Zion. Oh, child. I remember now. Oh, child. I was wandering in confusion, like a shadow without form, searching for a place to belong to. In the middle of the storm, every mirror told a stranger, every road led me astray. I was calling into silence, but silence turned away. Then in the depth of my brokenness, where no voice should dare to be, I felt something far beyond me, calling out my destiny. Not a sound the world could offer, not a name the world could give, but a truth that lives forever, saying this is why you live. Love wrote my name in Zion, before the world could see my face, before I knew my own beginning. You had already marked my place. Love wrote my name in Zion, in a language hearts can feel, and every wound I thought would break me was part of what made me real. Oh, child, love wrote my name in Zion. I walked through valleys of rejection, where no hand would pull me through. Still I heard a hidden promise, whispering, I see you. Even when the world denied me, even when I lost my way, something deeper kept on guiding. Every night and every day, I saw the poor and broken people still carrying dignity, and I realized we were written in a higher mystery. For every tear that fell in secret, for every prayer I could not say, there was mercy recording gently what the world had thrown away. Love wrote my name in Zion, before the world could see my face, before I knew my own beginning. You had already marked my place. Love wrote my name in Zion, in a language hearts can feel, and every wound I thought would break me was part of what made me real. Babylon writes names in dust and smoke, but they all will fade away. Only what is written in spirits will forever stay. No chains can erase what is spoken, no fire can burn what is true. For what love has already written, no power can undo. No, no, it cannot be erased. It cannot be erased. Zion, love wrote it. Love wrote it. Zion, love wrote it. Zion. Now I walk with quiet certainty, no longer lost in doubt. For I know the voice that found me when I had no route. Every struggle was a sentence in a story yet untold. Every pain became a bottom. Remember, if you ever feel unseen, remember, before the world ever knew you, love already did, and it wrote your name in Zion. Zion, Zion. My name is written there. Listen, not every tear falls in vain. Some tears are seeds, some pain becomes soil, and some broken hearts become gardens of promise. I never knew that until I broke, until I fell, until my tears watered the olive tree. Oh, Jah, I understand now. I walked through fire in my silence, smiling while I slowly disappeared, carrying dreams inside my pocket that the world could never hear. Every door I tried was closing, every friend became a ghost, and I learned how pain can teach you what you need the most. At night I spoke to empty corners where my hope used to reside, and I asked the sky for answers, but the sky just stayed quiet inside. But even when I lost my vision, something deeper still remained, a whisper in my broken spirit, saying nothing here is wasted pain. My tears watered the olive tree, where broken souls are set free. Every drop became a promise that was growing inside of me. My tears watered the olive tree. In the silence you could see that what was breaking me to pieces was rebuilding destiny. Oh, Jah, my tears watered the olive tree. I remember nights in sorrow, when the ceiling felt so close, and every thought became a burden only I could fully know. But somewhere in that heavy darkness, something sacred started to rise, like roots beneath the ruined ground, reaching toward the skies. I saw my pain was not my ending, it was just a hidden seed, and every wound I tried to bury was planting words I need. And though I could not see the meaning to the tears I couldn't hide, you were turning broken moments into life I cannot deny. My tears watered the olive tree, where broken souls are set free. Every drop became a promise that was growing inside of me. My tears watered the olive tree. In the silence you could see that what was breaking me to pieces was rebuilding destiny. Babylon counts pain as weakness, but Jack counts tears as gold. Every drop is transformation, turning young into old. No sorrow goes unnoticed, no cry is left alone. Every tear becomes a story that builds a better home. So let the rivers keep on falling, if they must fall from me, for I now know what they are doing. They're watering destiny. No, 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 they're watering destiny. Olive tree, used to be. And I see how every hardship was preparing something in me. I no longer fear the rainstorms or the nights that break me down, for I know beneath the surface life is growing underground. And if tomorrow brings me sorrow, I will not turn away, for I've learned the secret hidden in the tears I used to pray. My tears watered the olive tree, and it grew inside of me, stronger than the pain that made it, deeper than the enemy. My tears watered the olive tree. Now I finally clearly see every loss became a blessing. Every wound a melody. My tears watered the olive tree, and it stands for all to see that what tried to break my spirit only set my soul free. Oh, Jah, my tears watered the olive tree. So if you're crying in the night, don't stop. If you're breaking in the silence, don't stop. Because even tears have purpose, even pain has meaning, and somewhere an olive tree is growing. Because of you, my tears watered the olive tree. Olive tree growing, still growing. Listen. Have you ever been so far from comfort that even your own shadow feels like a stranger? Have you ever stood in a place so empty that silence becomes louder than thunder? That is where I was, in the wilderness, with only one light left, the last candle in the wilderness. Oh, Jah, don't let it go. I walked through endless empty seasons where direction had no name. Every path looked like confusion, every answer felt the same. The trees were tall like silent judges, the night was heavy on my skin, and every step I tried to take led me deeper in. I called out to familiar voices, but none replied my name. Just echoes of my own existence, returning back again. But in the heart of deepest darkness, something fragile still remained, a trembling flame against the silence, refusing to betray. I was the last candle in the wilderness, burning low but still alive. Even when the wind tried hard to finish me, I learned how to survive. I was the last candle in the wilderness, shaking in the stormy air. But as long as there was cannot kill the flame. Where the silence tried to win, and I see how every struggle was a doorway from within. The wilderness became a teacher, not a place to fear or run. For even in the darkest moments, Jah had already won. And if I ever lose direction in another night so long, I will remember what I learned here through the storm. I was the last candle in the wilderness, but I never lost my flame. Every trial tried to break me, but it only made my name. I was the last candle in the wilderness, and I shined against the night. For even in the deepest darkness, Jah became my light. I was the last candle in the wilderness, and I will forever stand. For the flame that Jah ignited cannot be held by man. Oh, Jah, the last candle in the wilderness. So if you are in the wilderness, don't stop burning, don't stop burning. If you feel like you are the last light, don't stop burning. Because even the smallest flame can break the deepest night. The last candle in the wilderness, still burning, still burning, still burning. Listen. Listen. There are voices that break in silence, and there are voices that are born in fire. Some voices are trained in comfort, but the strongest voices are forged where flames refuse to stop burning. This is not a voice that escaped fire. This is the voice that walked through it. Oh, Jah, let it speak. I was born inside the struggle, where the heat could melt your nail. Every breath I took was pressure. Every morning felt saw the strong ones fall in silence. I saw the weak ones learn to stand. I saw destiny unfolding in the ashes of the land. Every scar upon my memory, every wound upon my skin, told a story of survival that the fire could not win. They said I would be forgotten, just another burning name, but they didn't know the purpose hidden deep within the flame. For every trial had a meaning, every loss became a guide, and the fire was not my ending, it was where I learned to rise. I am the voice that walked through fire, and I did not turn away. I became what I was chosen. In the flames I learned to pray. I am the voice that walked through fire, but I never lost my sound. For the heat that tried to kill me only made my spirit loud. Babylon thought fire would silence me, but fire only taught me tone. For what they tried to burn to nothing was destined for a throne. You can break the body outward, but the spirit stays alive. And every flame that tried to take me only helped me survive. No, no, you cannot burn my calling. Through the fire, still I see, still I see, still I see, still I see. Through the fire, now I stand beyond the embers with a fire in my chest. Not the fire that tried to break me, but the fire that gives me rest. Every trial became a teacher, every burn became a song, and I carry what I suffered, but it makes me strong. So if I ever face the furnace, I will not be moved or bound, for the voice that walked through fire still resounds. I am the voice that walked through fire, and I came out shining gold. Every flame became a chapter of a story yet untold. I am the voice that walked through fire, and I still refuse to fall. For the fire that once tried to break me could not take my call. I am the voice that walked through fire, and I will forever stand. For Jah turned every burning trial into purpose in my hands. Oh Jah, I am the voice that walked through fire. So if you are in the fire, don't stop singing. If everything is burning around you, don't stop singing, because fire does not end a voice, it reveals it. I am the voice that walked through fire, and I still sing, still sing, still sing. When trumpets wake the mountains, Jana Dube. Roots reggae, hey. Listen, there are moments in time that do not belong to man. moments when the earth itself begins to remember. When silence breaks its ancient vow, and the air begins to tremble with prophecy. That is the sound I heard when trumpets wake the mountains. Oh Jah, let it be heard across the earth. I saw the morning turn uneasy, like it knew something was near. The rivers stopped their gentle talking, as if they paused in fear. The mountains stood in quiet waiting, like elders holding sacred truth. And even winds refused to wander through the valleys of the youth. Then from beyond the edge of stillness, a sound began to rise, not made by hands of mortal purpose, but born beyond the skies. It carried weight beyond the thunder, it carried fire beyond flame, and everything that once was hidden began to call his name. When trumpets wake the mountains, every sleeping soul will hear the sound that breaks the chains of silence and dissolves all fear. When trumpets wake the mountains, no shadow can remain, for every hidden thing is shaken by the power of his name. Oh Jah, when trumpets wake the mountains, I saw the proud ones lose their footing, I saw the mighty lose control. For nothing built on empty power can stand against the soul. The fields began to move like water, the skies began to sigh, and every heart that once was hardened could no longer lie. The earth itself became a witness to something far beyond our hand, like justice rising from the silence across every land. And every wall that man had built with pride and iron chains began to tremble at the sound that no one can contain. When trumpets wake the mountains, every sleeping soul will hear the sound that breaks the chains of silence and dissolves all fear. When trumpets wake the mountains, no shadow can remain, for every hidden thing is shaken by the power of his name. Babylon cannot resist it, no fortress can stand tall. When heaven speaks in final rhythm, everything will fall. For truth is not a whisper, it is thunder in disguise. And when it breaks the edge of silence, even darkness cries. No, 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 nothing can remain. Break the mountains, break the mountains, let it rise. Break the mountains, break the mountains. Now I walk with deeper knowing that the silence is not still. It is waiting for the moment when destiny fulfills. And if I ever lose direction in this world of shifting sand, I will listen for the trumpet that awakens trumpets wake the mountains. So listen closely, even now. The mountains are not sleeping. They are waiting for the sound that cannot be stopped. When trumpets wake the mountains, wake, 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 wake. Listen, there are moments in time that do not belong to man. Moments when the earth itself begins to remember. When silence breaks its ancient vow, and the air begins to tremble with prophecy. That is the sound I heard when trumpets wake the mountains. Oh, Jah, let it be heard across the earth. Listen, there are songs that comfort the heart, and there are songs that disturb the chains. There are voices that entertain the crowd, and there are voices that wake up nations. And when those voices gather, Babylon begins to tremble, because Babylon does not fear weapons. Babylon fears the singing saints. Oh, Jah, let the song go forth. We came from dust and broken places, where hope was traded for survival days. No silver crowns upon our foreheads, just faith that would not fade away. They tried to silence our belonging, they tried to bury every sound, but every time they struck the singers, a deeper chorus rose around. We had no armies in the distance, no golden shields to block the flame, just voices born inside the struggle, calling Jah's holy name. And every wound became a rhythm, every tear became a song, and what they thought would break our spirit only made it strong. Babylon feared the singing saints, who sang through fire, sang through pain. No prison could contain the sound that rose like holy you cannot stop the vibration that lives inside melody. For every chain they try to tighten becomes a drum for liberty, and every voice they try to weaken finds eternity. No, no, you cannot kill the sound. Sing on, sing on, sing on. Sing it says, Babylon shakes, Babylon shakes, Babylon shakes, Babylon shakes, Babylon shakes. Now the mountains tell our story, the rivers carry every word, and even winds across the nations repeat what they have heard. We are no longer just the suffering, we are the fire and the song, and every step we take together proves the prophecy was strong. For what they feared was never silence, but truth that would not bend, and every saint that kept on singing became a rising wind. Babylon, hear the singing saints, who turned their sorrow into praise, who lit the night with sacred fire that no system could erase. Babylon feared the singing saints, but could not stop what Jah ordained. For every voice became eternal in the freedom of His name. Babylon feared the singing saints, and still their echoes fill the land. A kingdom built on truth and spirit, no iron could withstand. Oh, oh, Jah. Babylon fear the singing saints. So sing, even when they tell you not to sing. Sing, even when silence is demanded, because every true song carries power, and every righteous voice carries fire. And Babylon still trembles when the singing saints rise again. Sing on, sing on, sing on. Babylon fear the singing saints. Even the dust remember Jah, Jana Dube. Roots reggae, 1987. Listen, they said I was nothing but dust. They said I came from nothing and would return to nothing. But they never understood the mystery. Even the dust remembers Jah. Even what the world calls forgotten still carries a memory of the Most High. Oh Jah, if dust can remember, so can I. Through streets of rejection, where my name was never known. Every face looked past my shadow, like I was made of stone. They wrote me off in silent judgment, like a story left unread. But something deeper kept me breathing when hope was nearly dead. I learned to speak in quiet language where no applause would ever come, and found a strange kind of power in being almost none. But even when the world forgets you, there is something still inside, a sacred spark that never leaves you, no matter how they try. Even the dust remember Jah. When the world forgot my name, every grain became a witness to a love that stays the same. Even the dust remember Jah. When I fell without a sound, something holy in my breaking was still holding me around. Oh, Jah. Even the dust remember Jah. I saw the poor man in the alley, talking softly to the sky. No riches in his empty pockets, but fire in his eye. I saw a mother in the distance, with nothing left to give away. Still she sang like she was wealthy, in a deeper kind of way. And I realized that existence is not measured by the crown, but by the breath that still remembers when everything falls down. For even in the lowest places, where no glory can be found, there is something that still rises from the silence in the ground. Even the dust remember Jah. When the world forgot my name, every grain became a witness to a love that stays the same. Even the dust remember Jah. When I fell without a sound, something holy in my breaking was still holding me around. Babylon says, you are nothing, but dust itself replies. Even what you call forgotten still lives beneath the skies. You can bury every story, you can silence every voice, but you cannot stop the memory that makes the soul rejoice. No, no, no. Even dust remembers. No. Even dust remembers. Dust remembers. Just still remembers. Still remembers. Now I walk with quiet, knowing that I was never gone. Even when I felt invisible, something kept me strong. For every fall became a lesson, every loss became a guide, and the dust beneath my footsteps now walks right by my side. So if I ever feel forgotten, I will whisper to the wind that even dust has a memory, and Jah lives deep within. Even the dust remember Jah. When the world erased my trace, every broken grain of sorrow found its rightful place. Even the dust remember Jah, and it called me back to life, turning every silent ending into morning Have you ever smiled in daylight while your soul was drowning in silence? I did, until I found a place where sorrow could not follow me. I left my burdens by the river. Oh Jah, take me there again. I was walking with my shadows down a road with no reply. Every thought became a prison, every dream began to die. I wore my pain like hidden armor. Nobody knew what I became. On the outside I was standing, but inside I was not the same. Every step felt like a question, every breath a heavy stone. And I wondered if the morning would ever call me home. Then I heard a quiet whisper, like the wind across my skin, saying there is rest for sorrow if you dare to let it in. So I left my burdens by the river, where the water takes them far, where the current knows my sorrow and the night meets every scar. I left my burdens by the river, let them drift and disappear. For the river speaks in silence, and it understands my tears. So Jah, I left my burdens by the river. I saw a man beside the water, with no shoes and trembling hands. Yet he smiled like he was richer than the kings of many lands. He said, you don't need to carry what was never yours to hold. Just release it to the river and let grace unfold. So I knelt down in the stillness, where the world could not intrude. And I learned that even brokenness can change its attitude. Every sorrow has an ending, every wound can find relief. When you lay it in the water, you can finally find peace. So I left my burdens by the river, where the water takes them far, where the current knows my sorrow and the night meets every scar. I left my burdens by the river, let them drift and disappear. For the river speaks in silence, and it understands my tears. Babylon will try to tell you, you must carry what is pain. But Jah created rivers to wash away the stain. No chain is meant forever, no night is meant to stay. Even rivers know the secret of how to wash away. So I release what I was holding, all the fear I called my own. And I let the water teach me I was never alone. No, 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 never alone. River, carry me, wash me free, wash me free. Now I walk a lighter journey, with the river in my soul. Every step feels like forgiveness, making something broken whole. And when sorrow tries to find me, I remember what I know, that the river never judges, it just lets it go. So I sing this as my witness to the weight I used to bear, that I found the holy water waiting everywhere. I left my burdens by the river, and I never turned around. never stops flowing mercy. I left my burdens by the river. River, carry me home. The bread of mercy never finished. Jana Doobie, roots reggae. Listen, there were nights when the cupboard was empty, days when the road seemed longer than hope. But somehow the sun kept rising, the table never stayed empty, and mercy kept showing up again and again and again. Oh, Jah, the bread of mercy never finished. Mama stood beside the window, watching storm clouds fill the sky. Only one loaf on the table, yet she never asked me why. She just folded up her weary hands and whispered through her pain. Jah has never failed his children, and he never will again. The rain kept falling on the rooftop, the wind was howling through the night, but peace sat down beside our worries like a little candlelight. When our strength was almost gone, your provision carried on. The bread of mercy never finished, though the world said we had none. Every morning brought a blessing with the rising of the sun. The bread of mercy never finished, through the famine and the flood. Every crumb became a promise, signed with everlasting love. Oh, Jah, the bread of mercy never finished. I remember empty pockets and shoes worn thin from walking miles. Still your goodness found us daily, hidden underneath our trials. Sometimes mercy looked like neighbors sharing what they barely had. Sometimes mercy looked like laughter in a season that was sad. Sometimes mercy came as courage when the mountains stood too high. Sometimes mercy came as answers to prayers nobody heard but I. When the road became too steep, your faithful hand carried me. The bread of mercy never finished, though the world said we had none. Every morning brought a blessing with the rising of the sun. The bread of mercy never finished, through the famine and the flood. Every crumb became a promise, signed with everlasting love. have not forgotten then. For every valley taught me lessons I still carry deep within. The bread was never just for hunger, it was strength to keep believing. It was hope when hope was fading. It was light when hearts were grieving. And if tomorrow brings another storm, I know exactly where I'll run, to the one whose hands keep breaking bread for everyone. The bread of mercy never finished. Though the years have come and gone, still your goodness keeps on reaching every heart that journeys on. The bread of mercy never finished. Through the valley and the climb, every blessing tells a story of your faithfulness through time. The bread of mercy never finished, and it never will be done, for your love keeps multiplying like the stars beyond the sun. The bread of mercy never finished. Mercy never runs dry. When the last light fades, mercy remains. When the strong grow weak, mercy remains. When tomorrow comes, mercy remains. And the table of Jah will still be waiting, with enough bread for every soul. Oh Jah, the bread of mercy never finished. The poor man's hallelujah, Jana Dube, Roots Reggae. Listen, you don't need gold to praise Jah. You don't need a palace to lift your voice. Sometimes the loudest hallelujah comes from empty hands, from broken rooms, from hungry nights, from hearts the world forgot. That is where I was when I found the poor man's hallelujah. Oh Jah, hear my song. Yeah. I woke up in a room with silence, walls that knew my every tear. The roof was singing with the rainfall, but no comfort lived in here. My pockets held no silver blessings, just dust from roads I walked alone. And every dream I once was holding felt like stone. The world outside kept on turning, like my struggle wasn't real, while I learned how pain becomes a teacher that only broken souls can feel. But even in my empty hands, something holy still remained. A melody I never purchased, but it rose up through my pain. It's the poor man's hallelujah, sung with nothing left to give. When the world has taken everything, but still you let me live. It's the poor man's hallelujah, rising up from broken ground. When there's nothing in my pockets, your mercy is the sound. Oh Jah, the poor man's hallelujah. I saw a mother in the market, counting change for daily bread. Still she smiled like she was wealthy, though the word said she was dead. I saw a man with tired shoulders, selling hope along the street, but his the strength to keep on standing through the darkest hours. When Babylon counts what you're missing, Jah counts what you endure, and every tear becomes a blessing that makes the spirit pure. It's the poor man's hallelujah, someone nothing left to give. When the world has taken everything, but still you let me live. It's the poor man's hallelujah, rising up from broken ground. When there's nothing in my pockets, your mercy is the sound. Babylon says you are nothing, but Jah says you are mine. Babylon builds walls of silver, but love crosses every line. You can strip me of my riches, you can strip me of my name, but you cannot take the fire that still calls upon your flame. No, you cannot take my flame. Hallelujah. Poor man's hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Poor man's hallelujah, hallelujah. Now I sing with deeper meaning than I ever knew before. For I've lived without the silver and still found something more. Every loss became a doorway, every lack became a guide to the place where true thanksgiving cannot hide. So I lift my voice in fire from the dust beneath my feet, and I let my broken story become complete. It's the poor man's hallelujah, but it shakes the highest throne. When the weak begin to sing it, it becomes a sacred tone. It's the poor man's hallelujah, and it echoes through the night, turning sorrow into victory, turning darkness into light. It's the poor man's hallelujah, and it cannot be denied, for it rises from the bottom where the truth cannot hide. Oh Jah, the poor man's hallelujah. So if you have nothing left, sing anyway. If you are broken and forgotten, sing anyway. Because heaven hears a different sound when the poor man sings hallelujah. Hallelujah. Ooh, hallelujah. Oh, the poor man's hallelujah. The poor man's hallelujah. This is more than love, written for China Roots Reggae, 1987. Listen, some call it mercy, some call it grace, some call it a hand reaching down from heaven. But when I look back at the roads I've walked, at the storms that should have buried me, I know this is more than love. Oh Jah, this is more than love. I was standing in the valley where the shadows hide the son, carrying a broken future, thinking my race was done. The world said I was nothing, just another fallen man. But you saw a crown of purpose inside these trembling hands. When the river rose against me and the night refused to end, you became my shelter, you became my closest friend. When I had no song, you gave me melody. When I had no strength, you carried me gently. This is more than love, more than words could ever say, more than all the stars that decorate the sky each day. This is more than love, more than kindness from above. You took my shattered pieces and turned them into hope, oh Jah. This is more than love. I remember hungry evenings and the tears my mother cried, praying for a better morning with no bread left inside. Still your mercy kept on flowing like a river through the drought. Every door that Babylon closed, you found another route. Through the fire, through the pain, through the loss, through the rain, you never left me standing by myself. When the mountain stood like a giant in my way, you whispered softly, "Child, keep walking anyway." This is more than love, more than words could ever say, more than all the stars that decorate the sky each day. This is more than love, more than kindness from above. You took my shattered pieces and turned them into hope, oh Jah. This is more than love. How do I measure the ocean with my hands? How do I count every grain of sand? How do I thank you for the times I never knew that angels were surrounding me and carrying me through? How do I thank you for every unseen door, for every hidden blessing I wasn't looking for? No, no, words are not enough. Oh Zion, I can see the morning breaking. More than love, more than love, more than love, more than love, more than love. Now the years have taught me wisdom, and the scars have taught me praise. Every wound became a lesson, every night became a flame. The chains that tried to hold me only taught my soul to fly. The darkness that surrounded me made me recognize the light. And if tomorrow finds me walking through another storm, I know whose hand is leading me safely home. This is more than love, more than rivers, more than seas, more than every prayer that ever brought me to my knees. This is more shines and the moon forgets the night, your love remains. When kingdoms rise and kingdoms fall, your love remains. When my final breath is gone, your love remains. And I will sing forever. This is more than love. More than love. Where the broken knees still pray, Jana Doobie, Roots Reggae, 1987. Listen. Not every battle leaves a scar you can see. Not every tear falls where people can notice. Some prayers are whispered from empty rooms. Some songs are born from shattered hearts. And sometimes the strongest faith is found where the broken knees still pray. Oh Jah, hear the cry of your children. I walk through valleys nobody knew, carrying burdens too heavy to move, smiling outside while my spirit bled, holding on to the words you said. Friends disappeared when the storm clouds came. Some forgot me, forgot my name, but in the silence of those lonely days, I found a place where the broken knees pray. When the road was long and the night stood tall, your voice kept calling through it all. Where the broken knees still pray, hope refuses to fade away. When the world says give up now, faith keeps rising somehow. Where the broken knees still pray, darkness cannot steal the day. The fire still burns, the soul still sings. That's where miracles begin. Mama prayed beside a candlelight, trusting God through every night. No gold treasures, no grand display, just faith that never walked away. The roof would leak when the rains came down, still praise could shake that little town. The poor had nothing the world could see, but heaven saw their victory. Every whispered prayer, every falling tear was gathered safely by just so near. Where the broken knees still pray, hope refuses to fade away. When the world says give up now, faith keeps rising somehow. Where the broken knees still pray, darkness cannot steal the day. The fire still burns, the soul still sings. That's where miracles begin. Babylon laughs at the humble soul, but Babylon cannot control the hand of Jah, the heart of faith, the strength that grows through suffering days. You can take the riches, you can take the fame, but you cannot steal a praying flame. No, no, you cannot steal a praying flame. Broken knees still pray, broken hearts still pray. Looking back at the tears I've cried, every battle became a song. Every weakness made me strong. The chains that once surrounded me could never stop my destiny. For every scar became a testimony of your amazing victory. When I couldn't run, when I couldn't stand, you carried me gently in your hands. Where the broken knees still pray, hope refuses to fade away. When the world says give up now, faith keeps rising somehow. Where the broken knees still pray, darkness cannot steal the day. The fire still burns, the soul still sings. Hey, that's where miracles begin. Where the broken knees still pray, mountains learn to move away. Where surrender meets belief, Jack turns sorrow into relief. Where the broken knees still pray, the lost find strength to stay. The weak become strong, the night meets dawn, and a new life carries on. So if you're tired, if you're weary, if your heart feels worn and weak, don't stop praying, because the rain still falls, the river still flows, and Jah still listens to every cry from where the broken knees still